Hey guys, I'm so glad you're here. I've just finished up our Bible verse, and we're going to be working on this week. Week 3 is Deuteronomy 6:5. I want you to work on this verse. It sounds like one we did last week because we actually kind of already touched on it. Deuteronomy 6:5. So let me see if we can put these in order. All right. All right. Put this one right here. And open this one up right here. All right. All right. Can you see where's the beginning of our verse? Do you see which one it is? If the reference is going to be at the beginning and the end, then it could be either one. So Deuteronomy 6:5, but where's the verse start? Okay, did you say this one? Love the Lord your God. Good, that's the underlined part of our verse. All right, so the next ones are with all. Do you see how all of these have the words with all your? All right, let me put them in order for you. So the Bible verse says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. So I hope you can see that, but this is the part that's underlined. Love the Lord your God, and it's almost the same, with all your, well, and with all your. And if this helps you at all, because it kind of helps me, heart, soul, strength, those are at least are in alphabetical order, like S-O-S-T. Do you get it? So heart, soul, strength. So love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. See if you can say that with me. Deuteronomy 6:5. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. So practice that this week. I think you're going to do fine with that. Our Bible story today actually is from Exodus. So get your Bible and open it up to Exodus. Say the first 5 books of law with me. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Good. So we're talking about Exodus. And in Exodus, just so you can remember, this is where our word like exit comes from. What's an exit? It's like, not the entrance to the drive-through, but the exit, or when you're leaving a room and there's a sign above it that says exit. It's where we go. It's like the off-ramp on the road, the exit. It's to leave that area. So the book of Exodus is about the people of Israel who are leaving Egypt. It's the Exodus. They're leaving. And that's very important because today we're studying about how the people were being held in slavery. And they were having to be the slaves to the Egyptians. And you remember to Pharaoh. You'll probably remember Moses and Aaron would go to Pharaoh over and over again and say, let my people go so they can go and worship the one true living God. And Pharaoh would say no. And so Moses would say, well, okay, well then this plague is going to come. And they went through like 10 different plagues. All these different plagues, from locusts and darkness and the hail that was like fire when it fell, to the different boils, and oh my goodness, so much stuff. And every time Pharaoh would say, all right, you can go, but you have to leave this, or you can't take that. And he had different conditions, and Moses would say, no, let my people go. And we want to take all of our herds of cattle, all of our flocks of sheep. We want to take everything, our young, all of our families. We're leaving to worship our God, the one true living God. And Pharaoh would say, no, you're going to stay here and be my slaves. And so it came to the place that Moses went to him and said, you let my people go, or the firstborn in every family is going to be killed when the death angel passes over. And when he comes through, then every firstborn from Pharaoh's family to all the people, even the cattle in the field, the firstborn in every family will die. Now think about that for a minute. Are you the firstborn child in your family? I am. I'm the oldest one in my family. My sister, I have one sister, she's younger than me, but I'm the firstborn. Are you? So you might want to pay attention to this if that was going on. And you think Pharaoh would have paid attention to this because he also had a son. And surely he didn't want his son to be harmed in any way, but he refused. He refused, and God hardened his heart even so that he refused to let the people go. And so the night came because they had been in slavery for 430 years. And God said, get ready, because the people are going to want you to leave. They're going to even give you stuff. Anything you ask, just get out of there. They want you to leave. You just watch and see what I will do. And so he went to make that appeal. Moses went to make that appeal, and he refused to let the people go. And he said, then at midnight, be ready. Now you'll remember that Moses instructed all of the Israelite people to take the lamb's blood and put it over the door frame of every home of the Israelite people, of the Hebrew people. And the death angel would pass over their house and no one would be harmed. So it was about obeying God and following his instructions. And so the people prepared for that. But can you imagine, even at midnight, as they heard, people began to cry and wail because hearing that the agony of the people losing their firstborn. People they're realizing in their families that these children, these adults, this cattle, I mean everyone, they're dying. Even Pharaoh's own son died. And so what happened is that immediately Pharaoh said, get out of here. We don't want you here, just as God promised. And they were all awake. They all knew because of what was going on, the sadness that was all around. He said, get out of here. You can go worship your God. Just get out of here as fast as you can. And by the way, take all of your cattle, take all of your sheep, just get out of here. He didn't want them to be there anymore. And the Egyptians were also saying, go. And anything that they requested, they gave them. Matter of fact, the Egyptians barely had anything left because the Israelites took everything that they had. And it says in the Bible that there was they had a cloak or a blanket or something, and they would put all their belongings in it, and they would wrap it up and just carry it on their back because they were moving. They were leaving so fast. It was time to go, and they were going. Matter of fact, the Bible even says that their bread that they had put together hadn't even risen yet. It was ready. It was going to be ready for in the morning, not at midnight. And so they even took the bread, the unleavened bread, with them, and they left. As they're leaving, they gathered everything and they were on their way. The Egyptians gave up everything they could have and sent it with them. And the Israelites all gathered in the city of Ramses and began to make their way on their journey. The Bible says there was about 600,000 men. Listen to that. 600,000 men, and that didn't count families. How many were in a family? If you counted every man, then how many more would that be? So it was a huge number of people that were leaving Egypt, and they were on their way, and behind them were all their flocks, all their cattle, following after them. And the Bible even says that even along the way, they baked some of those unleavened cakes in order to have something to eat as they kept traveling. And so they had that unleavened bread. So God kept watch over them and protected them on their journey as they made their way and exiting Egypt and to go to the land that God was going to give them, the promised land. And so every year at that same time, that same night, they would observe that Passover, that the death angel passed over their home and God delivered them from slavery, and they would celebrate God's goodness to them, to remember that God had given them the great gift of being free from slavery. So our Bible verse today, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. That's the commandment that Moses is giving the people in Deuteronomy 6:5. Now, I want you to see a couple of ways for you to learn how you can remember this verse. I think you're going to like these games.
Hi, Bible drillers. Let's do another craft that will help us learn one of the verses from the Red Cycle. Here's the verse for this week. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Deuteronomy 6:5. So what we're going to make is a string heart. You're going to need a styrofoam plate, some yarn, some tape, some scissors, permanent markers, and a toothpick. So let's get started. The first thing that we want to do is draw a great big heart on our plate. Now remember, we need to use a permanent marker because on styrofoam, if you use a water-based marker, it's going to come off on your hands. So use a permanent marker and draw a nice big heart right in the middle of our plate. Okay, it's going to look something like that. So, okay, now we need to write the words of our verse. I'm going to use a fine tip so I'll have enough room to write all the words. And every time you write a word, you need the next word to be far enough away from it that you can string. So we're going to go from side to side. So let's write our verse, love. And then thee needs to go across from love. So let's put it all the way over here. Love thee. And then Lord needs to go back over here. Lord. And then back across your God. Let's put God over here. With all your heart. Here's how mine looks so far. Let's see where we are. Love the Lord your God with all your heart. With, let's put with up here. All. Back over here for another your soul, and with all your strength. And remember where it's found? Deuteronomy. Now Deuteronomy, that's a long word. We're going to have to write it out. D-E-U-T-E-R. Deuteronomy. D-E-U-T-E-R-O-N-M-Y. So Deuteronomy. And remember, it's in chapter 6 and verse 5. So we've got our words on here. Now the next thing that we need to do is make a hole beside each word. So we're going to use the toothpick. And I think we should do them in order because that'll help us practice our verse. So love, make a hole for love. Love thee, Lord, one of the your, God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with, need another all, up here, all your strength. Deuteronomy 6:5. So hopefully yours looks something like that when you get all the holes punched in it. And then the next thing we need to do is make our needle. So we're going to need a good bit of yarn, probably about 4 yards. If you do your yarn and you find out that you don't have enough, you can stop and tie a little bit more to it on the back. Tape it to the back. So I'm going to get my yarn and tape it to my needle, which is a toothpick. I'm just going to get some tape and tape it around there so that it'll hold the yarn on when I'm sewing up my string heart. Okay, so I've got it taped on there. And now we want to get the other end and tape it to the back. We want to tape it close to where the first word starts. So the first word is love, so let's tape it right up here near the first word. And then we're going to take it from the back and come to the front, right where love is. Pull it all through. So there we go. Love. And then we've got these over here. Love thee. Now find Lord. Here it is. So we come in from the back, Lord. Pull it all through. Your, if we do one of the yours. Okay, that might be enough demonstration to show you how to do that. Hopefully you'll get yours all sewn together and look something like this, and that will help you learn Deuteronomy 6:5. See you next time.